history is considered to be the best teacher, and if the facts of history will be manipulated on the basis of the rumors, then things will change or things will become disturbing. And this is what has happened in one of the districts, or you can say one of the major cities of Maharashtra, that is Nagpur. Hello and welcome to the In News series section of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be talking about the violence which has erupted in Nagpur, Maharashtra. So first of all, about the points of discussion, first we will be looking at the news, then about what has happened in Nagpur and why the curfew has been placed, then section 141 of IPC, section 144 of CRPC about Aurangzeb, and in the end a prelims MCQ. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is polity, because we will be talking about IPC, CRPC, BNS and also about the curfew. So the news talks about Nagpur under curfew, the controversy surrounding Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb's grave removal. So it is basically what becomes important from our exam respect is knowing about what is curfew and under what section of BNS curfew is imposed, and then about the few of the very important points of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Before moving forward, Drishti IAS Mukherjee Nagar classes has now been shifted to Noida, and the admissions are open for the IAS GS Foundation course covering both prelims and mains. The English medium batches are starting from 8th of April and the Hindi medium the batches are starting from 26th of March. In case of any query, give us a call at 87501, or you can also download the Drishti Learning app. So what has happened is that curfew has been imposed in several parts of Nagpur, not complete Nagpur, several parts of Nagpur after violence broke out. And you can say it's a communal violence. So recently Nagpur is under curfew. Then the violence or the curfew has been triggered by a combination of factors which involves rumors and tensions. So there were rumors and tensions around two key issues, and the two key issues were, first was alleged disrespect of the holy book of the Muslims community, and second was that there was demand for the removal of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb's tomb. So these are the two main key factors because of which there were rumors, there were talks, and this was considered to be the reason for the violence which broke out in Nagpur, and this violence has led to the imposition of curfew in Nagpur. Now about the curfew in Nagpur which has been imposed, so that is, a curfew has been enforced in several areas of Nagpur city under section 163 of the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, that is BNSS. So be very clear that with regard to the BNSS, it deals with section 163 of BNSS. BNSS stands for Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. Then the restrictions will remain in effect until further notice. So now the curfew, imposition of curfew has taken place, but when will the curfew will end? The date has not been decided. We need to see and wait till the further notice to be issued. Then the imposition of curfew under section 163, it prohibits the movement of individuals outside their residences except for medical emergencies. So people are asked to remain indoor, or people are asked to remain inside their homes, and only in case of emergencies, that is medical emergencies, they can move out. Freely they cannot move out till the curfew period or till the imposition of curfew is there. Then it also prohibits a gathering of more than 5 people and bans the dissemination of rumors. So more than 5 people cannot assemble at one place. So assembling of people at one place also has restrictions, and that is gathering of more than 5 people will be prohibited, and then the rumors which will be spread, they will also be disseminated. Then if anyone will violate these rules, then he or she will face action under section 223 of the BNS, and section 223 of BNS talks about disobedience to order duly promulgated by public servant. So basically the violators will get punishment also, because imposition of curfew means that a very serious point is going on and peace and public order needs to be maintained because it has been disrupted. Then now section 141 of IPC, even though now IPC has been revoked, but now let us talk about section 141 of IPC. So section 141 of IPC talks about unlawful assembly. And unlawful assembly point that we just saw under BNSS, that is prohibition of assembly of people of more than 5. So more than 5 people cannot assemble together, it is prohibited. So unlawful assembly means an assembly of 5 or more persons with the intent to commit an illegal act or to execute a lawful act through unlawful means. So before people gather together and perform an activity which will be unlawful, it needs to be prohibited, and the unlawful assembly of people needs to be prohibited, and that is people in numbers of 5 and more. Then section 141 of the IPC 1860 deals with the unlawful assembly, and the object of it was to preserve the public peace and order. So basically public order and peace needs to be preserved. Then section 163 of BNSS and section 163 of BNSS is the reason that why on the basis of this section 163 of BNS, curfew has been imposed in Nagpur. It empowers the magistrate. So these are the districts magistrate or sub-districts magistrate. So it empowers the magistrates to issue immediate preventive orders in urgent cases to prevent obstruction, danger to human life, public disturbance, riots, and allows such orders to be directed at individuals, specific areas, or the general public. So either in a very specific area or the complete area can also be covered under it. And then who has the power to issue instructions with regard to the imposition of curfew? So that is the magistrate, and this is not judicial magistrate, it is the district magistrate or the sub-divisional magistrate. Now let us talk about the section 144 of CRPC. Even though now IPC and CRPC are not there, and that has been replaced by the BNSS, that is the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. So section 144 CRPC, it empowers the magistrate of any state or union territory in India to pass an order prohibiting the gathering of 5 or more people in a specified area. So this also talks about that the gathering of 5 and more people must not take place. Then it is imposed in urgent cases of nuisance and apprehended danger of some event that has the potential to cause trouble or damage to human life or property. If preventive measures can be taken, if people think or if the magistrate thinks that the things will turn or the things can turn violent and it can cause harm to the public order or the public property or the law and order of the state, or the state machinery or the law and order machinery of the state is in trouble, then the curfew can be imposed. Then it places restrictions on handling or transporting any kind of weapon in the given jurisdiction. Then no movement of public and all educational institutions shall also remain closed. So during that time the educational institutions is also remain closed under section 144 of CRPC. Then complete bar on holding any kind of public meeting of public and all educational institutions, but activities like medical services, fire brigades, that remains in operation. Then it empowers the authorities to block internet access in the region also. And then no order under this section can remain in force for a period of more than 2 months. So for 2 months it can remain in force, but not more than 2 months. So the time period under section 144 of CRPC, it is 2 months. So we have talked about the unlawful assembly of people under IPC, under CRPC and under BNSS, and then we have talked about the aspects of curfew which has been imposed in Nagpur recently. Now let us talk about the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb and few of the points from the reign of Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb? That can be asked in the examination, because the political scenario which has been going on with regard to the Nagpur violence is not what can be asked in the examination, or is not very much important from the exam respect. What becomes important from the exam respect is you need to understand what are the highlights of the events which has taken place under the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. So first of all, Aurangzeb was a Mughal emperor and he came after Shah Jahan. Then Aurangzeb was also known as Alamgir, and that means world conqueror. And he was also known as Zinda Peer because of the lifestyle he followed, and that is he followed a very minimal lifestyle in his personal life, and that is why he was also regarded with the name of Zinda Peer. So Aurangzeb Alamgir ascended the throne during the time of 1658, and then one of the highlight of the Aurangzeb rule was the imposition of jizya. Now what is a jizya? Jizya is a type of tax which was imposed on non-Muslims. Now imposition of jizya, you need to remember that this was one of the biggest highlights of the rule of our Aurangzeb. Imposition of jizya, which was a tax on non-Muslims, he reinstated it during his reign. And then persecution of religious leaders. The second most highlighted thing was he executed Guru Tej Bahadur, the 9th Sikh Guru, and this was also one of the reason why the Sikh rebellion took place during his reign. Then one of the highlight points of his reign was his Deccan policy, because his Deccan policy was also, in the starting it went well, but in the end what happened was it became one of the reasons for his downfall also, as the Deccan policy of Aurangzeb costed him a lot of troubles with regards to the finances, the outflow of the capital which happened from his rule or from his treasury, and a lot of manpower was also lost. So the Deccan policy aimed to extend Mughal control over the Deccan Sultanate, particularly the Bijapur and the Golconda, and bring them under the direct Mughal rule. And then strong centralization of power during the Aurangzeb. Whenever you talk about Aurangzeb, you need to remember this. First is reinstatement of jizya tax, and then the execution of the 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, and then about the Deccan policy of Aurangzeb. Because without reading about these things, the reign of Aurangzeb as a Mughal emperor is not complete. And now in the end, the prelims MCQ, and like always, you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. So the question reads, who is empowered under section 163 of BNSS to issue preventive orders against unlawful activities? So that is the Chief Minister of the state, District Magistrate, Judicial Magistrate, or the Mayor. We have discussed this in the video, so give me the answer in the comment section. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time. Keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.